Welcome to Depression, a first-person journey. For many people living with depression, the hardest step is acknowledging that something is wrong. It is believing that seeking help would benefit you. This episode is about what happens when the system meant to support you becomes something you fear. It is about how a single experience can reshape the way you see yourself, your illness, and your chances of healing. And it is about why, despite that fear, that pursuing professional help is still critical. In previous episodes, I have spoken repeatedly about the importance of professional care in managing depression. I know that for many people that message can feel overwhelming, unrealistic, or even threatening. Sometimes it is denial or the hope that what we are feeling will simply pass. It may be the belief that we should be able to handle this on our own because of how we were raised. Then there are those times when depression convinces us that this suffering is permanent, or deserved, or something we are meant to endure quietly for the rest of our lives. I want to be honest with you, none of that is true. Those beliefs are not facts. They are products of an illness that distorts perception and feeds hopelessness. And once those beliefs take hold, they can keep us trapped for years, and that has been my experience. There is one moment in my life that shaped how I approached help for an exceptionally long time. I have never spoken publicly about this before, but it merits a mention in this conversation. From as far back as I can remember, I knew something was not right inside my mind. I did not have words for it then. I only knew there was a constant pressure, an invisible weight that never lifted, no matter how hard I tried to ignore it. As the years passed, that pressure grew heavier, quieter, and more demanding, until it became impossible to live alongside it. During my first year of college, that weight finally collapsed in on me. The emotional pain was no longer something I could endure or push through. Thoughts of harming myself did not just pass through my mind, they lingered, insistent and relentless. With the little strength I had left, I went to the emergency room. I did not know where else to go. I just knew I could not stay where I was. When the receptionist asked why I was there, I lowered my voice and told her that something was wrong with my mind and that I needed help. She asked if I was having thoughts of self-harm. I answered honestly. I told her those thoughts had been with me for years, but now I felt dangerously close to acting on them. She handed me paperwork and told me to wait. When I explained that I did not have the mental capacity to fill it out, she made a call. A nurse appeared and asked me to follow her down a hallway. I did as I was told. Still disoriented, still overwhelmed, unaware of where I was being taken. Only later did I realize I had been led into the psychiatric ward. I was shown into an empty room and told to remove my belt and shoelaces. There was no explanation, no reassurance, no acknowledgement of the fear already gripping my chest. Once I handed those items over, the door closed behind the nurse, and she was gone. I stood there alone, holding up my loose-fitting jeans, wearing boots without laces, and a thought crept in. I have made a terrible mistake. Almost immediately, the silence shattered. Shouting echoed down the hallway, then screaming. I saw orderlies restraining patients, nurses shouting commands. Everything around me felt frantic and uncontained. This was not what I imagined help would look like. It was not calm, safe, or healing. It was chaotic. In that moment, my emotional pain was joined by something else: fear, humiliation, and a deep sense of shame. I had come there broken, and now I felt stripped of whatever dignity I had left. A few hours later, I convinced a doctor that I was okay. I was not. But I needed to leave. I needed to escape. I was discharged and sent back into the world carrying the same pain I arrived with, now reinforced by trauma. That experience planted a powerful belief in my mind that help did not exist for someone like me, and for nearly 30 years I lived under that belief. Anger became familiar. Isolation felt safer than connection. Self-doubt guided my choices. I turned to alcohol. I chain-smoked cigarettes. Although I did not touch drugs, I found other unhealthy ways of coping. Not to feel good, but to feel less. My nervous system lived on edge. I was always braced to run or fight. My mind never rested. I kept trying to outrun my past, convinced that if I moved fast enough it would not catch me. It always did. I tried seeking help again over the years, but nothing seemed to work because I did not give it a chance to. I always found a reason, an excuse to end my treatment. It was not until much later that I understood why. I did not believe I could be helped. Depression had shaped me for so long that it felt inseparable from who I was. Eventually, exhaustion accomplished what hope could not. I reached a point where I could not continue living the way I was. Somewhere deep inside, a voice said, "This cannot be all there is." That was the moment I chose to act. Not because I felt strong, but because I had nothing left to lose. I committed to treating my illness seriously, to facing it honestly, to trying, even without certainty. I admitted myself to a mental hospital in another state. This time, everything was different. The staff were attentive, kind, present, not just with me, but with every patient there. I met regularly with a psychologist. I worked with a psychiatrist to find medication that could actually help, and I participated in group therapy that was unexpected and powerful. Hearing others speak openly about their struggles, some similar to mine and some entirely different, made something shift inside me. I felt seen. I realized I was not alone. I had always believed that it was me against the world, but that was not true at all. Those 5 days I spent there created a sense of connection I had not known before. Through shared conversations and group activities, a quiet bond formed among us. It felt like camaraderie, like soldiers preparing for a difficult fight. The fight was not against each other. It was for healing, for choosing to live differently. That experience did not erase the past. The damage remains. Relationships strained, time lost. Pain I cannot undo. But today, I understand something I did not do before. Healing began when I gave myself grace. I had to learn how to forgive myself while still taking responsibility for my actions, for what I did to myself and to others. I came to understand that in order for me to genuinely love someone else, I had to start with learning how to care and love me. When I look back now, my greatest regret is allowing that first traumatic experience to stop me from seeking the help I needed sooner. It delayed my healing. It deepened my pain, and the pain I caused, it cost me dearly. And that regret is one of the reasons this podcast exists. I hope that sharing my story helps someone seek help sooner, no matter how uncomfortable it may be to hear or to tell, then it is worth it. If this episode resonated with you, remember this: one painful encounter does not define the care you deserve. Help exists. Healing is possible, and you do not have to face this alone. Feel free to continue this journey with me. I invite you to subscribe for future episodes. There is more to talk about, and more hope to uncover. Until next time, be gentle with yourself. And remember, healing is possible even when it does not feel close. Your story is still being written,